The show obviously closed with an emotional farewell to the in-ring career of Daniel Bryan. The announce team tried to put it over as shocking, which kind of annoyed me, because he's been out for how long? There's been stories for how long about how they won't clear him.
Yeah, but I always felt like no matter what stories I heard, I'm going to see Daniel Bryan running out one more time. And
I thought we'd see him at the Rumble, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that... Well, not surprised, because I always thought there was a chance. Bret Hart said, I think 6 months ago, he said, I don't think Daniel Bryan will ever wrestle again. He thinks he is, but he won't. He said, I was in this position once. I thought I'd get back out there, and I never did. But what I'll say about the segment itself, I feel like they really put the fans over last night.
Yeah.
More than usual. I mean, all those shots.
Because it's his hometown, too. Well, right. His home state.
It was an abnormally high amount of just shots of fans celebrating, doing the yes chant, doing the... what other chants did they do? That's what she said chant.
A couple heavy criers in that crowd, too.
Heavy criers.
I saw one woman who was just bawling like her favorite pet just passed away.
Yeah, I mean, I think Daniel Bryan represented the WWE universe. I hate that phrase, but he represented us and all those people more than any other wrestler, maybe ever.
Yeah, because he was just another guy.
Right.
He didn't have the perfect body. He was undersized. He was just an average guy.
Yeah. He was an average guy.
Yeah, and I loved the storyline when they occupied Raw. I mean, that was all the fans, in the ring, stopping them.
Yeah, unbelievable story. So I think that was they hit a really good note with that. They really made it a point to get the fans on TV and put the fans over. Like, we get it. You guys kind of make us what we are. And this guy represented you, so we're going to kind of give you guys a time to shine, too.
And I'm glad Daniel Bryan explained his new clean look, because, I was curious when he first came out. What's going on there?
Yeah, for a great cause. I unfortunately can't remember what the charity was called. Do you remember? Wigs for Kids.
Yeah, Wigs for Kids.
Basically, yeah.
They donated that hair for the kids, and then he said he looked pretty stupid with the full beard and cut head.
Short hair. I thought he looked good last night in the nice flannel.
He is not a goat face. He is handsome.
Yeah, he's not as ugly as they made him out to be. I thought, seeing him stand there with his eyes closed, just to probably the last time he'll hear that in that ring in that way, I appreciated that he really savored that moment.
Oh, he ate it all up. He closed his eyes and he said, I never really got to hear that from a crowd, because usually you're focused in on your opponent. He closed his eyes, just felt it, which is kind of an amazing picture to paint.
Yeah, we want to wrap up Raw shortly. I guess we could all maybe just say something about Daniel Bryan. For me, as a kid who wasn't 5 feet tall till I was 16 years old, I was small my whole life. I started high school, I was 4'10" and 88 pounds. Tiny guy, kind of made me scrappy. I wish I had somebody like Daniel Bryan to look at. As this guy's little, he's the smallest guy out there, but he's overcoming everything you put in front of him. I think he can be a role model to people who are undersized in physical stature. He could be a role model to people who are, your social status. If you're a nerd in high school and you get picked on, that's somebody you could look at as, this is somebody who overcomes everything. So I'm thankful to Daniel Bryan just for the hope and the encouragement that he offered to people who aren't just born at the top.
Yeah.
Joe, I know you love Daniel Bryan, maybe
definitely.
more than anybody.
I love Daniel Bryan. I mean, like I said, I'm a smaller guy too, so I felt what he was going through. When people try to pile the world on top of you and they try and tell you can't, you won't, you aren't, and you get beat down by the world, he was just there. He said, I will.
And
you can say whatever you want, but I'm going to do it. And I was getting teary-eyed. I'm sitting there seeing the pictures of him holding the title, knowing how that feels, just to overcome and prove people wrong. It's such a powerful message he sent.
It was.
Same thing as you guys. It's real powerful. Growing up, there weren't many guys like that his size. Just an average guy, getting himself over. Especially the yes chants. It's not just a chant. It shows you can do anything. Daniel Bryan, he started from the Indies.
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset. He started from the Indies, worked his way up, showed you could become a face of the company, showed you could be the most popular name in the company. He just showed that you don't have to be this model to be everything. You don't have to be a model to be the world champion. You don't have to be a model to have a beautiful wife. that's a model, and it seems one of the most beautiful women in the world. He showed that you could do anything you set your mind to, and we're gonna miss him. He retired. It's ended way too soon.
Way too soon.
And now that he's gone, for the fans, we're not going to miss him. But there's a lot of things that he left on the table, a lot of matches that we're not going to see because of his retirement.
Yeah, I mean, this retirement was kind of reminiscent of Edge not too long ago. But, I mean, at least Edge had a longer run in WWE. Edge had tag team titles, multiple titles. I feel like Daniel Bryan had a fraction of that time, and he made almost...
Every time he got to the top, unfortunately, he got knocked down by something out of his control.
Yeah.
The last thing, like you said, you don't have to... The way I'll put it is, he showed that you don't have to settle for what other people are willing to give you. You can go out and get more for yourself than what somebody's willing to give you. And I'm thankful. Daniel Bryan is probably the reason why I'm here right now. I had stopped watching wrestling for 5 years, and the Raw episode when John Cena was choosing his opponent for SummerSlam, he was in the ring. The rest of the roster was up on top of the ramp under the Titantron. You don't even see Daniel Bryan, but I owe another $1. I forgot. Oh, we got one over here. He decides that he's going to choose Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan has to push his way out through that crowd of larger-than-life
perfect
WWE superstars, does the yes chant all the way down the ramp, is right in his face, screaming the yes chant. At that moment, I said, I think I'm going to start watching this again. I mean, I stumbled on it. I didn't know what was happening.
He pulled you back in.
He pulled me back in. And that story leading up to his WrestleMania moment is what really, at that point, I started watching every week again and never looked back. So we're probably all here right now because Daniel Bryan's career lasted just as long as it did.
Mm-hmm.
So Daniel Bryan, you will be missed by all three of us, by many other people.
Very much.
And I think that's a good note to go out. And he said when he dives through those ropes, he felt like Superman. Mm-hmm. And he said the way we reacted to him doing that made him feel like Superman. And to a lot of people, he was Superman.
What is some of your favorite moments?